See, that's my Messiah mindset. But Jesus' Messiah mindset is step one, I tell you, you have no hope. Step two, I die. See, from God's perspective, it's not about the human concerns. Listen to this. See, from God's perspective, there's a plan going on. He created Adam and Eve because He's the creator and He's an artist and He makes beautiful things. He created a beautiful universe. The stars and the galaxies are just unfathomably beautiful. And then He created this planet with the canyons and the mountains and the sunsets and the grass and the sheep and everything that you can imagine just being so beautiful. The peacocks and the whales. God created all these amazing things. And then at the top of His creation, at the very pinnacle of His creation, He creates human beings. And what He says to them is, you are my representatives to this planet, to this natural world, to this earth. I've created all this beauty, and now I'm putting beautiful people in charge of all this beauty. You will be my mediators between me and the world. They were supposed to represent God to the world, and they were supposed to represent the world back to God. And God says, you are going to be my mediators. Care for it, nurture it, take care of it. That was His plan. That was His plan, that He would be in tight relationship with this beautiful creation. And so He created beautiful people, and He gave them a beautiful place to live and gave them a beautiful relationship. The man and the woman were one flesh, and they felt no shame. A beautiful relationship. He even gave them a beautiful law, because somehow it's more beautiful when people willingly follow Him and willingly love Him than when they're forced to do it. And so He gave them a law that was the most beautiful law you can possibly imagine. It went like this: you're free to eat anything you want, just don't eat from the tree that'll kill you. That's the most beautiful law that's ever been made. There's no law that is less enriching to my life. I mean, there's no law that is less beautiful than that. That law is actually enriching. Avoid the thing that'll kill you. It's all beautiful. And then they do it, and sin enters the world, and the darkness of sin gets in their relationship, and the darkness of sin breaks their relationship to the world, and the darkness of sin breaks their relationship to each other, and breaks their relationship to God, and messes everything up. And it's not their plan that was ruined. It's God's plan. God is the one who suffers the most from sin, because He created this whole thing to be beautiful, and they've screwed it up. And more than anything, He loves them. And so it takes His entire plan on a detour. And now He has to go through thousands of years of trying to buy the people back to Himself, until finally He can get them back, and we can start again. We can get back to where we were supposed to be in the garden, back to the beautiful place. Jesus says these words in Mark 10, "For even the Son of Man did not come to be served, but to serve, and to give His life as a ransom for many," to buy people back. You know, He uses the word ransom. If a child gets kidnapped and the kidnapper demands a ransom, that ransom does not get paid based on the value of what the ransom does for the child. Okay? The ransom is not money paid for the child. The ransom is money paid based on the value of the father or the mother. The father or the mother, if they're super wealthy, the ransom will be high. That's how ransom works. Ransom is paid because the person who loves the child is willing to pay whatever it takes to get them back. It's because of how much He loves that the ransom is paid. And in this case, the ransom is Jesus Himself. So here's the cross. And Jesus tells His disciples, I came for this purpose. I came to die so that my life would be a ransom, so that God could buy you back, so that He could have you like He wanted you from the beginning. And it's about Him. It's not just because He wants to forgive you and make your life feel better. It's because He wants you back. That's why Jesus came, to buy us back. But here's the promise, and this is your last thing to jot down. When Jesus dies, sin is settled. We're going to take a moment here, just some time, and reflect on the significance of the cross. What we're going to do is we're going to take a moment to just experience the cross in a tangible way. Jesus gave us an experience. In Mark 14, we read about it, and in other Gospels, we read about it too. Jesus gave us an experience called communion, where on the night before he was betrayed, he took bread and gave it to his disciples. He broke it, gave it to his disciples, and said, "This is my body, which is broken for you." And he took the cup, the Passover cup, and gave it to his disciples and said, "This cup is the new covenant in my blood. Drink it in remembrance of me." And so Jesus gives this symbolic meal to his followers and says, "Here's this bread, here's this cup, drink this, eat this in remembrance of me and my sacrifice for you." That's what he says. And we're just going to augment it a little bit today with a visual. We've got our communion station set up in the back there, and you're welcome to go back there and receive from it. Dave in the back is over there. I'm going to invite him to take this communion station over there. And if you need someone to pray for you, he'll be standing over there. And Billy also will be by this one here, and he's willing to pray for you too if you've got a need on your heart that you just want to bring before God. But here's the extra thing we're going to do. See all these red papers on the wall? Last week we wrote sins on them. And we want to invite you to go and grab some of that paper, because now the whole paper just symbolizes all the evil that is stuck in our hearts. We're going to rip off sections of those paper, and I'm not talking small sections, just rip off chunks, okay? And we're going to take those pieces of paper and bring them here, and we're going to nail them onto this cross. We've got some small little nails there. This is soft pine wood. Don't worry about that. The hammers, they're small and manageable. Don't worry about that. Don't pound the thing in there too deeply. Just, get it on there. But this is what we're doing. We're ripping off pieces of the red paper. We're going to bring it to the cross. We're going to nail the sins on the cross. Because check this out. It's the last thing on your note sheet. In Colossians 2:13, it says this, "For he being God, God forgave all our sins. He canceled the record of the charges against us and took it away by nailing it to the cross." So we're taking this record of all the wrongs against us, and we're going to nail it to the cross. Logistically,